Hey guys, I thought it'd be really cool to show off the recent pickup I basically got off eBay, which was a Fable 2 Collector's Edition. Now this originally released in 2008, which is pretty wild to say I picked it up for about $10. Yeah, I know, crazy. So this is back when physical goods were actually good for video games, and I actually have a video coming up on my main channel about that at some point. But as for today, I want to basically just go through what I actually got with it and why I think it was a really cool collector's edition. So, first things first, it's a very simple edition. There's no crazy weird figurines or anything. It's just a really simple collector's edition. There's a cool cardboard sleeve, then you get a very separate like case art for the game. It's kind of like grey and landscape. It's really weird, but it looks cool. And then inside there's just a different manual. It just basically is slightly altered, but the real deal comes with the extra disc you get with the game. So on the extra disc, you basically get all the bonus content from the game, which includes a near 1 hour documentary about how the game was made, which is absolutely awesome. A weird short film, which felt more like marketing for this weird hob figurine they had. And then you get all the concept artwork for the game. So I thought I'd take you through pretty much everything and my thoughts on it. So we'll start off with a documentary, as it's by far the most interesting thing. So wow, I was blown away by how cool this development documentary actually is. It was a really good watch, and it really shows basically the effort that went into making Fable 2 an actual reality. There was a point where they had like 25,000 bugs they had to get out in a couple weeks, and they actually managed to do it for the release of the game, and it's just absolutely insane seeing how weird game development was back then and the way they crunched to make sure all the bugs were removed from the game. Whereas now devs don't really do that same crunch phase because a game can just get updated past launch. It really shows how games have like evolved almost backwards, and that a lot more care went into games back around this era of gaming. It's something I'm very aware of, and it's always a bit of a letdown seeing how much care and time and passion goes into game creation back then. I mean, it's still there now, of course, don't get me wrong, there is still definitely passion in game creation, but there's not that real urgency that's pushed from a game being released on a certain date, because you can always update it now. So it really just shows like the time shift, and I just thought it was a really good watch. I recommend watching it for sure if you haven't. There's probably a re-upload on YouTube, but if it's not on YouTube, I can always re-upload it myself. I don't think Lionhead are exactly going to be mad about that, considering they got shut down in like 2015. Rest in peace, Lionhead. Then the weird short film was exactly that, just a weird short film. Nothing particularly crazy. I wasn't overly thrilled for it. It was just kind of eh. But it was still pretty cool. Got to see some weird figurines in some weird places, but it felt more like a just big meme video, which is practically what it was. They invented the first ever meme. Jokes, jokes, jokes. And then finally, all the concept artwork is absolutely badass. I've been meaning to get my hands on this Fable 2 art book, but it's a kind of a tricky find online. But I've definitely got to pick it up at some point because it's totally awesome. But yeah, there's tons of really cool concept art of pretty much every single character and enemy in the game, and it's by far one of the coolest things about the disc. But to me, the real highlight was definitely the documentary. But yeah, I just basically want to show off this really cool collector's edition and why I think the collector's edition is really cool. And it does just make you really think about how game collector's editions have kind of evolved both forward and backwards. Yeah, we get all these cool things with games now. We get tons of downloadable content. We get cool weird figurines and stuff, but there's almost just a bit of an era that we've missed out on here. We don't really get that physical media when it comes to like the behind the scenes these days. At best we get a soundtrack, and I really wish more devs would kind of go back to their roots when it comes to making games, and I would love to see a dev company basically go back to the golden age of gaming, which in my opinion, golden age of gaming was around 2005, I'd say, to around 2014. That was when it was really good. Obviously, a lot of good games came out after then, don't get me wrong. One of my favorite games of all time came in 2020. But I think that was a real golden age for gaming, for sure. But I'd love to see devs kind of go back to that golden age of gaming and kind of live the past by talking about what they did during development, giving fans that little insight to their company, and not just trying to basically put all focus into post-launch updates. It really shows the change in gaming, and it's a very interesting thing to talk about. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.